right, hey guys, what's going on? My name is Chris Hawkes, and this is Your Best Life Defined. So we had a wonderful visit with our kids in Southern Colorado. We'd been quarantined, not going around to anybody for about 2 weeks, and it had been like 6 months since we'd seen our kids or grandkids, and it was like, it was just killing us. So they were kind of watching things too. Everybody was healthy and staying away from everybody, so we finally got to get together. And so what we did was we loaded up our kayaks and we all went out to the Pueblo Reservoir, and we were on the south side of Pueblo Reservoir, and just we found this really cool shady spot, and we jump in our kayaks and we go out there and we're kayaking around. Now this is the second time that Sandy and I have had our kayaks out on water. And it was really cool because all our grandkids had kayaks, and we took turns pulling my youngest granddaughter, or my granddaughter Piper, on her. She paddled for a while, but she's like, nah, just tow me around. So it was kind of a good workout. But man, we got done. I think we paddled probably about 3 miles or so, 2 miles, something like that. And we came back into shore. We needed to replenish our supplies. We were drinking a little bit of seltzer water and snacks. And so we jumped back in those kayaks and we're just hauling ass across the lake. And the wind's blowing a little bit, but everything's cool. And it's amazing how peaceful it was to be out there on that water, and that's the only thing you had to do. And I'm thinking kayaking, we're going to go hard, going hard. Yeah, we did a little bit of that, but we just out there and we paddled another 3 miles, found an island that had a bunch of geodes on it and some cool stuff. And I think by the time we got back to the back to the shore where we were hanging out, it was already about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we'd been going all morning. And the sun was hot, and we were working hard. And my daughter and her husband had actually fixed ribs. They started them the night before, so we just had to throw them on the grill. And we had this amazing rib lunch with potato salad and chips and all the fixings, and it was just amazing. And I think about 3:30, 4 o'clock, I was about done with the sun, started loading up the stuff, and we all headed home. And I think we got back to the house about 4:30, 5 o'clock, something like that, and I was bushed. I mean, it was a great time. And it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. I'd do it again in a heartbeat, but got back to the house and I am just dog tired. I hit the bed that night and I didn't think about anything. Once my eyes closed and everything went black, I was done for the night. Now that's a good kind of tired. That is a good feeling when you've spent your entire day doing something that inspires you, that energizes you, that makes you feel great about being alive. And then you get home and you're like, I couldn't do it again. And you would do it. I would have kept going, but I just didn't have any gas left in my tank, right? That's the good kind of tired. And that's the kind of tired I think we're missing out on. See, there's the other kind of tired. I had a lot of that in my life. In fact, I had way more of that kind of tired in my life. You know what I'm talking about? That tired that hits you when you wake up in the morning and you realize you didn't sleep well because you're worried about something you may have forgotten at work, and you haul butt out of bed and you grab a cup of coffee and a cold piece of pizza, and then you haul ass out the door because you're trying to get out on the highway and make your turn before the traffic jam starts. And then you're sitting there in traffic anyway, and you look down over at your seat and your lunch is still on the counter in the kitchen. Yeah. But you don't have time to worry about that, so you get to work and you have to deal with people who aren't doing their jobs, don't respect you, and there's always that office guy, that one person, that just kind of spends all their time hanging out around the boss, doing the boss's bidding, and even though they suck as an employee, they get all the benefits and perks. And you get to lunch, you go eat you a big old healthy or not so healthy meal at the cafeteria. Now, at 10 o'clock, before you go to lunch, you're talking about, I guess I'm going to the cafeteria. I'll just get me a salad, because you look down and you realize your belt's on the last hole, and your shirts are getting tied around the midsection. And then you get to the cafeteria, and they made smothered green chilies and burritos with smothers and green chili and Spanish rice and fresh tortillas. And you're like, I'll start my diet tomorrow. By the time you're done with your day, You're hauling ass home. You see the same angry people in your mirror and around you in the traffic as you sit there waiting for things to start moving. You get all the way home and you realize you should have went by the liquor store, because there's no beer, there's no wine, there's no vodka. Now you go back out, and by this time it is congested, and even if it's not, you just don't want to go do it. You're like, damn, I was home. The best part about that day, the best moment of that day, I think for me, when I used to have those kind of days, is that first beer or that sip of wine. Now I'm not a wine. I don't drink wine. I don't like wine. I'll drink whiskey. I'll drink vodka with club soda. Anything cold that is crisp and refreshing. That first drink, yeah. And by the time the kids are all settled in, supper's done, and you're doing what you're doing, you might get a few minutes to yourself sitting down in the basement doing what you do, or sitting in your recliner watching the news. And when you hit the bed, it's a different kind of tired. It's a tired that involves things like thoughts like, I hope I sleep well tonight. Just let me get some sleep. And there you go. You fall off, and then before you know it, 3 o'clock in the morning, your eyes pop open. And you have that thought, that same thought. Or your eyes pop open because your stomach's burning and you shouldn't have drank because you keep telling yourself you're not. That's a different kind of tired. You might think about it. I wonder, why didn't I choose the good kind of tired? Why, when we had the ability to choose, why didn't I say, wait a minute, no. I don't want to be all busted ass tired because I'm working my ass off to pay for a bunch of crap I don't have time to enjoy. I mean, if I'm going to be tired at night, I want to be tired because I busted my ass when I was at work, and then when I got off work, I busted my ass at the lake because I got a new kayak, or I busted my ass on a mountain bike trail because it's all uphill both ways. See, I'm not sure how to say it. I don't know. I'm not really sure how it is that I'm going to get your attention. I mean, this is the best I can do. This is the best I can do until I get better, and I will get better. I will find that niche, but I'm not going to trick you. I'm not going to trick you by some bait or clickbait. Is that what they call it? Clickbait, or some idea that I'm going to give you that's not really the truth just to get you to listen to what I'm saying. Because if you don't listen to what I'm saying, it's not going to change my life one bit. If you go back, I think this is podcast number 60 in as many days. 60 podcasts in 60 days. That's 2 months. And if you listen to every one of them, I guarantee there's one thing you're never going to hear. Me asking you for anything beyond taking the time to look at your life and ask yourself, how can I make it better? I mean, if you're going to wake up in the morning tired, the thing you did the day before that made you tired, shouldn't it be something that's friggin' amazing? Shouldn't it be something where you go, yeah, I would definitely do that again? I don't care how many times I jump on my mountain bike and I bust my ass down the road and do that ride I do. I'll do it again. Because that's the good kind of tired. The good kind of tired is when you go to bed, you've hung out too late, you're sitting outside under the gazebo or under the patio, the patio cover, and you're sitting there drinking beer, sipping on a glass of whiskey, and it's been a long day where you've just like talked about this and talked about that, and you've shared stories with the people you love, and you've laughed, and you've jibed with each other just a little bit, poking fun at each other. And it's getting late, and you don't want to stop talking, you don't want to stop laughing, but you got to because you're just tired, and you hit your bed, and you think about the day and about how good it feels. And that's really what's important, is that feeling of just closing your eyes knowing, whoo, what a day. I'm tired, but it was a good day. You can choose it. It's a choice. Make a plan. Take a look at your life. Take a look at who you are. Take a look at how honest you are being with yourself about how amazing your life is and what's important. I just got off the phone with a guy, a young man. We had an interesting exchange, and I guess someday I'll tell you about it. But in a nutshell, he actually thought I was one of those recordings because I had been using my earbuds and I hadn't turned the Bluetooth off, or apparently I hadn't turned them off. Well, my phone rings right in the middle of this podcast, and I'm like, So I'm like trying to get my phone squared away, trying to shut everything off, and I keep saying, hello, and I'm not getting a response. Well, what it was is when I clicked the Bluetooth off on my phone, all of a sudden he could hear me now. Well, his name's Eric, nice guy, but he's irritated because he's trying to make a living, and he's calling me because I had contacted them about something I was looking at. And he's going, why do you keep saying hello? And finally he asked me, because he thinks I'm a recording wasting his time. He goes, what's 2 + 3? And I'm sitting there. I had to stop for a minute. It's 5. And I can hear him. He's irritated. He said, why'd you keep telling me hello? And it was just a miscommunication, but it was really funny. It was it was a moment I'll remember for a long time. But we're talking about doing this building thing, and it's an alternative to a conventional lifestyle, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create the most possible value for my money and my time. If we buy a house, we build a house, I want to be able to make that experience as amazing as possible, so that when I get in that area, when I've created that for myself, the life I live within that space is good living. It is a good struggle. It is the kind of struggle that you'll do over and over again, because it feels good to be that tired, to be tired because you spent your day doing what you want to do. I sometimes I feel like I keep repeating myself. Well, I am, and I'll stop repeating myself when you guys figure it out. I'm going to do a podcast. I hope you'll look for it. It's COVID-19. This is your chance. And it's about the idea of the good in the bad. Just like when my dad died, there was some good in the bad. It was me turning into who I am now. See, for those of you who remember me from work, oh, there's a scary dude. I was a scary dude. But I changed. It's different. It's different. I don't know. Let's just spend some time doing more of that stuff that makes you tired. But the good kind of tired. Kind of tired where you wake up every day and you enjoy every moment of your life. Well, I could keep going on, but I don't want to waste your time or mine. I hope you keep listening. I hope you keep sharing. And I hope you will keep looking for opportunities to grab the best part of your life and start living it. As always, my name's Chris Jaquez. And just remember, today is your day. Make it a good one.